I'm gonna say it. If you can't catch a fish, you can't catch a woman. And before you roll your eyes at me, because I know what you're thinking, fishing and dating are kind of the same. One requires patience, skill, and the right bait. And the other one, also patience, skill, and the right bait. So let's break it down. And by the way, hi, my name is Faith Mary, and today I'm going after some catfish. There are some surprisingly huge catfish in here. I'm talking 30 plus pounds, which is bigger than the 25 plus pound catfish that I noodled. So we'll see if this thing actually exists or if it's a myth. The lady in the store told me that they like hot dogs, so I bought hot dogs. She doesn't strike me as a liar. I think it's gonna work. But anyways, let's get into it. And you guys, I'm sorry if the quality is bad. It is super dreary out. I'm using a bait caster today and classic Frank's made with pork and chicken. So I'm trying to talk quietly because I don't want to disrupt anybody, you know? So if that's why I don't see myself, that's why. There's a lot of big bass that were caught here too, you guys, but I mean, you guys know me. I have been trying to catch bigger and bigger fish lately. So if this doesn't work, we'll switch to a Senko. Can't go wrong with the Senko. I say that about 500,000 times on my channel. This looks pretty good to me. I'm using a bait caster and a small little split shot. There goes my hot dog. Crap, that is not good. I'm gonna have to tie it on. I already look like I'm not a skilled fisherwoman, but I am. Are you kidding? Finally, you guys, it's in. I couldn't really chuck it too far because I don't want it to fling off, you know what I'm saying? All right, guys, let's get into it. You see, fishing teaches the secrets that most men don't figure out until it's way too late. For example, patience. You don't throw your line in the water and immediately start screaming, "Where are the fish at?" Same way how you shouldn't text a girl and blow up her phone 10 times like she owes you money or something. Patience, my friend, patience. Have you ever seen a guy reel in after like 30 seconds? That's the same type of guy that gets ghosted by a woman after one date and then says women are the problem. No, bro, you're the problem. When you fish, you learn that waiting is a part of the game. And that waiting, that's when you build confidence. You're not panicking, you're not desperate, you're calm. Same thing women notice about men. If you can chill with your pole in the water without losing your mind, trust me, you'll do better with women. Because if you're impatient with a fish, you'll be impatient with a woman. And nobody wants to feel like they're just bait on your hook. Let's reel in, see if it's still on there. It's off. Completely off. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna lightly chuck this out there. Emphasis on lightly. Dude. Now let's talk about bait. If you throw garbage on your hook, don't get mad when you're just catching seaweed and some little minnows. Same thing with dating. If the bait is, hey, let's go chill at my mom's house, don't expect to reel in a 10. Your bait is how you carry yourself. It's your confidence. It's your smell. I thought I got a little bite. It's your lifestyle. Are you showing up like a shiny spinner bait? Or are you basically throwing out a soggy piece of bread floating in the water? Let me put it this way, okay? You attract what you put out. Throw out stinky bait, you're gonna get catfish. Throw out confidence, purpose, and good vibes, you will get bass. You want quality fish, you need quality bait. And no, bait does not mean money, okay? It's not about flashing those dollar bills. Dude, this keeps on coming off. Okay. I gotta put my shirt on, guys. It's getting cold. I don't want to be provocative. Literally, something just bit it. Dude, something definitely just bit it off. Oh my God, dude. At least we know that the hot dog is still on. Right over here. I'm going right there. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Oh, go. Oh my God. for sure one of my worst fishing fails. I'm screwed. That was horrible. Horrible. Hot dog, please don't come off. Hot dog, please don't come off. All right, you guys. I'm keeping the line taut, dude. I'm not having that happen again. As I was saying, guys, it is not about money. It's about energy. How do you make people feel around you? But if your energy screams, I haven't showered in 3 days and I argue with strangers on Reddit, yeah, that's worm on a hook energy. Just got one. That's right. Just got one. Oh, let's go. Oh my God. Oh no, he got off. He got off. I'm gonna flip out. I'm actually gonna flip out. I'm gonna flip out. I caught one though. I caught one. It was a largemouth. He was small, but it was a largemouth. Oh my God, I hope I got that on camera. Oh, dude, what? Like, of course that happens to me, right? Like, seriously? Let's go. I pulled up fast enough. And the string is still on, so he is good. He is fine. I'm counting it, dude. Let's go. A bass. Heck yeah. I looked it up and bass pretty much eat anything, right? We've had this talk. I'm surprised, like he really liked it. Usually bass don't really like hot dogs, right? Let me know in the comments if that's true or false. Can't believe I caught one. Yay! So let's talk about it. Location matters too. You can be the best fisherman in the world, but if you're casting into a swimming pool, you are not catching anything. And yet some of you guys are still fishing for love at 2 a.m. in some random club. Dude, that's not a lake, that's a swamp. I'm kind of killing it with these jokes. Come on, you can't even lie. You gotta ask yourself, where are the quality fish? Gym, hobbies, coffee shops. That's where you'll align with people that have your lifestyle. Because if you're always casting in muddy waters, don't cry when you get muddy results. All right, we're gonna recast. We're gonna put the string on there a little better. These guys are nibbling. I am so happy right now. That is the first fish that I have caught, you guys here. So did you guys see my technique on that cast? It was smooth, like butter. I'm not flailing around like a maniac, well, a little bit, but you guys know what I mean. I didn't have any desperation, per se. Same thing when you talk to women. Smooth, calm. Confidence is quiet. You don't see a good fisherman screaming at the lake for the fish to come out. You see him calm, steady, and focused. Just saw one jump out of the water. Just saw one jump out of the water. And guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna aim right there. He was right. That was horrible. That was closer. And I just got a bird's nest. I just got a bird's nest, didn't I? But you guys saw when that fish slipped off my hook, right? Hopefully. God, I hope so. But guess what? That's rejection. That's her saying, you're really sweet, but... And that's life. Fish don't bite every single time. You rebait, you recast, and you keep on fishing. If you quit and stop fishing after every fish that you've lost or haven't caught, you'll never become a fisherman. And if you quit after every single rejection, you'll never grow up to be the man that you're supposed to be. Fishing toughens you up. Dating toughens you up. And that's why I say if you can't catch a fish, you can't catch women. But don't worry, we're just getting started. Good. My hot dog is still on. All right, so we just talked about patience, bait, and confidence. Let's get deeper. A lot of guys think if I just throw myself out there, something's gotta bite. No, man, that's not fishing. That's littering. Think about it. If you're throwing junk in the water all day, you're not attracting fish, you're literally polluting the lake. Same with dating. Spamming random girls a billion times saying, hey, that's not effort, that's digital pollution. Good, it's still on there. Let's cast this way. I haven't really cast this way, and there's a turtle over there. I better not. Oh my God, I think a bass just tried to eat the turtle. What the heck was that? But anyways, guys, you need intentional casts. Every time I cast, I'm aiming for somewhere. I'm literally studying the water, and now I know where the bass hang out. Same with women. I don't care who you are, you need some standards, dude. You can't be just like, oh, any pond, any fish, whatever, I don't care. No. Where do you want to invest your time? What trophy fish are you gonna catch? Because listen, you're aiming at nothing, you're gonna get nothing. Or worse, you're gonna hook on to a freaking shopping cart at the bottom of the lake. All right, recast. recast. I'm gonna try and go as far out as I can without losing my bait. Exactly where I wanted it. Here's another fishing technique, even though I'm not really doing it right now, which sucks. Silence. Oh, there's a little spider. Oh, he's what the heck? Here's another thing. The best fishermen are silent. They're quiet. They're not splashing around all crazy. They're not announcing to the entire lake, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm here. They just sit focused, calm, and know who they are. And women, guess what? They love that. That calm, steady energy. They're looking for a leader, a protector. You want her curious. You want her leaning in, just like a fish nibbling at a bait before it bites. All right, let's go over here. Let's go and change our spots a little. See, we haven't got anything. We're gonna go change our spots. I think all the fishing buddies definitely saw their bass friend get pulled out of the water and have a horrible time, so. You know what ruins fishing? Impatience. Guys jiggle their line, reel in too fast. Same thing in dating. And then they lose the fish. If you try too close, too fast, she's gone. If you're like, so what are we? So are we official yet after the first date? Brother, you just ripped the hook out of your own mouth. Relax. Let things naturally develop. Women don't want to feel pressured, just like how fish don't want to be yanked. They want to choose to bite. Now let's talk about switching lures or switching bait. Sometimes what worked yesterday might not work today. Fish are picky. The water changes, the weather changes, the mood changes, and women, the same thing. What worked with one girl is not going to necessarily work with another girl. You can't just have one script, one line, one move. That's like me putting my pole in one of those rod holders and just waiting. You gotta adapt. Maybe she's into having deep conversations. Sometimes she just wants to laugh. Sometimes she's testing you to see if you're actually patient enough. Switch your lure, brother. Don't be stubborn. It's not working, we gotta switch. Here's a secret. Fishing keeps you humble. You can think that you're the best fisherman in the world and then boom, you get skunked. No bites, nothing, all day. Same thing with dating. You can feel like you're the man, and then one girl just isn't interested. That means welcome to reality. The guys who win in fishing and in reality are the ones that keep on showing up. Rain, shine, rejection, heartbreak. They keep casting, they keep learning. That's what makes them unstoppable. I just got a massive bite. Also, let's not forget that the fish doesn't owe us anything. This is really common. Guys will tend to think, oh, well, I paid for her dinner, I took her out, I bought her flowers, so she owes me. No, man, it's just like how the lake doesn't owe you a fish. You show up, you put in the work, and you try your best. Same with woman. She decides if she's into you. That's her choice. You're not entitled to a catch. Every cast, every attempt, every rejection, you're sharpening your skills. And when that fish finally bites, or when that girl finally chooses you, you'll know it's real because you earned it. And that's what separates the fisherman from the guy that's throwing rocks in the water. All right, so by now you're starting to see how really deep this goes. Fishing isn't just fishing. It's life, it's dating, it's confidence, it's everything. But let's get into rejection again, because I think this is where a lot of guys quit. When you miss a fish, it's no big deal. But when a girl rejects you, suddenly you're in bed, sad music playing, and you're scrolling your life away. But you gotta relax. It's not that deep. You missed a fish, guess what? There's 1,000 fish in the sea. Go cast again. You know what I do when I'm not catching? I move, I try different bait, blah, blah, blah. You get it. I don't just sit there screaming at the lake that it's their fault. Some of you guys need to learn that lesson in dating. If you've been going after the same type of girl with the same weak approach and getting the same rejection, you gotta switch up and change spots. Insanity is doing the same cast and expecting a different fish. Here's something else. Real fishermen, they just enjoy. They enjoy the process. It's not all about the fish. They're about the peace, the quiet, the beauty of it all. Same way how you should enjoy your life instead of chasing after a bunch of women. Because if you make women your entire mission, dude, you're fishing with desperation. Fish and women can smell that from a mile away. Build your life, enjoy your hobbies. Be the guy that's already happy at the lake, with or with not catching fish. That's when the fish start biting. I'm gonna try and chuck it far, 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 far. Here's another lesson. Are you ready? Not everything that tugs your line is worth reeling in. Just because something shows interest doesn't mean that it's good for you. A lot of guys just chase anything, any type of attention, not quality. Same way that a rookie fisherman feels a nibble and acts like it's a trophy fish. No, dude, sometimes it's just weeds. Let it go. You have to know the difference between a fake bite and real interest. Same with women. Some are just bored, they want attention. Some just like knowing that they can reel you in whenever they want. That's weeds, my friend. That's algae at the bottom of the lake. Don't waste your time. Hold out for the real strike, the one that actually bends the rod. Because you don't mount the weeds on your wall, do you? You mount the fish that fought for it. Okay, I'm actually seeing a lot of bubbles per se in the water over here. I don't see any bubbles over here. You know what else fishing teaches you? To respect the water. Respect for the environment, respect for it all, not just the fish. And that translates. If you don't respect women, if you just treat them like trophies or numbers, you'll always lose. Respect is the foundation of both fishing and relationships. Because if you're careless, reckless, selfish, you're just gonna ruin the pond that you're fishing in. And finally, let's talk mindset. Fishing is a game of faith. You can't see the fish. You don't know exactly when it's coming, but you keep casting anyway. That's faith, that's belief. Same with love, same with success. You won't always see instant results, but eventually that line is gonna tighten. Eventually something's gotta bite. And if you've been patient, prepared, confident, and respectful, when it bites, you're gonna be ready. That's when you get the story, the memory, the fish, the woman that was worth the wait. You've heard me talk about bait, patience, confidence, but that one thing that really separates the fishermen from the rookies is rejection. In fishing, it's a missed strike. You felt the tug, you set the hook, and boom, nothing. Fish got away. Same with women. You shoot your shot, she says no, she laughs it off. But guess what? That's not failure. You keep on casting. Men, you gotta stop smothering the fish. You ever seen someone new to fishing? They catch their first little bluegill, and then they're holding it like $1 million diamond, squeezing it, taking 17 selfies, and the fish is gasping for air like, dude, just put me back. Women will feel the same exact way when you are too clingy. You send 5 texts in a row, you keep on blowing up her phone, you keep on bothering her every 5 seconds. That's literally the human version of holding a fish out of water until it dies. If she's interested, dude, you're gonna know. Don't smother your catch. Now here's some real wisdom. Everybody wants to brag about their biggest catch, right? Sound familiar? But sometimes that monster fish is worth more trouble than it's worth. You spend an hour fighting it. Its teeth rip your arm off. And then you realize this thing is a monster. It's so scary. It's hurt you. And you don't even want to clean it or eat it. Same things with relationships. Guys will chase these 10 out of 10s trying to get the clout, but then they're miserable because they're super high maintenance, sometimes a little disrespectful, or maybe just not the right fit. Don't be fooled by size or looks alone. The best catch isn't the flashiest per se. It's the one that fits you. And sometimes you gotta know when it's catch and release. Some fish are gorgeous. You reel it in, you admire it, you smile for a picture, but then you put it back because it's not meant to be kept. Same with women. Not every single girl that you're gonna date is going to be your wife. Some are lessons, some are memories. That doesn't mean that it was a waste of time. It means you're learning, practicing, building until the right keeper comes along. So here's the truth, guys. Fishing teaches you how to live, and it teaches you how to love. Patience, resilience, confidence. If you can learn to cast by the water again and again, you're already building the same skills that you need to attract women. So let me leave you with this. If you can't catch fish, you can't catch women. But the good news, you can learn, you can sharpen your hooks, you can go to the store and buy some new stuff, make your equipment all better. and keep showing up until you get a bite and you get better. I knew we were gonna catch one, and it's okay. It wasn't huge, but he was kind of big for a bluegill. Let's freaking go! And hey guys, if this made you laugh, if it made you want to go get a rod and go fishing, give it a like and a subscribe, you guys. It really helps me out. And I want you guys to drop me your funniest fail in the comments. Fishing fail and woman fail. Until next time, keep casting, and remember, the big one is always out there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry if I was a little quiet, you guys. I just don't want to bother anybody. I love you guys, and I hope you have a beautiful day.